It's day 282. Now it is springtime. All dark and difficult days were in the past now. It seemed like springtime for Islam. In these days, people were coming in masses from faraway places and accepting Islam. Among those running to the light of Islam were the leaders of Mecca too. One of them was the commander of the pagan army. His name was Khalid bin Walid. At the Battle of Uhud, the devious plan he had adopted had placed the Muslims in great difficulty. But now he regretted all that. He now believed that Muhammad ﷺ was the Prophet of Allah. He no longer denied it. He wanted to become a Muslim. To that end, he set out. While on the way to Medina, he had met someone he never expected to meet. This man, Amr ibn As, was the enemy of the Prophet. Amr asked him, "Where are you going, Khalid?" Khalid told him his intention without any fear. "The true path has become obvious. I now believe Muhammad is the Prophet of Allah. There is no sense in waiting anymore. I will visit him and become a Muslim." While Khalid was saying this, he was thinking Amr was going to get angry. But it didn't happen that way. Amr was pleased with what he heard from him. "By Allah, I'm also going to him to become a Muslim." Khalid bin Walid could not believe what he was hearing. Was it Amr who was saying these words? For a long time, he had kept saying, "Even if the whole world becomes a Muslim, I will never become a Muslim." He had even made plans to destroy the Messenger of Allah. Now there was an Amr standing in front of him whose heart had softened, who was ready to accept Islam. Khalid reflected. The two friends hugged each other joyfully, and then they set out together towards Medina. When they reached the Prophet, they told him they wanted to become Muslims. The Prophet welcomed them and treated them kindly. He congratulated them for choosing the right path. Then he turned to those around him and said, "Mecca has thrown its beloved children into your bosom." The Muslims were thrilled. First, Khalid bin Walid took the Shahada. The Prophet said to him, "I knew you were very bright. That is why I was waiting for this day with hope." Khalid replied, "But I have committed a lot of sins against you," and he bowed his head. "Will Allah forgive me?" The Prophet had understood what horrible guilt he was suffering. He didn't want him to be troubled anymore. He opened his hands and prayed for him. "My Lord, forgive all the sins Khalid has committed." After this prayer said by the Prophet, Khalid bin Walid felt at peace with himself. He was now the strongest soldier of the Prophet. In order to make up for the mistakes he had committed in the past, he was going to strive with all his might as a Muslim.